Hi everyone, I'm Megan from Katherine James, and today we're going to be talking about the importance of origin when it comes to certain colored gemstones. We sometimes get questions about why certain pieces on the site are listed as Ceylon sapphires or Siam rubies. These terms are traditional trade names that are used to distinguish historical sources for certain colored gems. Source can be important for a couple of different reasons. The first one is historical value and relevance. For example, when we talk about cashmere sapphires, they were only mined in the late 1800s and early 1900s. They were known for having impeccable color and clarity. So when they come back into the marketplace and the source is listed as cashmere, it gives them a very high value and they're very sought after. The second reason is that a majority of gemstones are mined in multiple locations around the globe. Depending on where you are, the geological conditions of each location can highly affect the very high value factors of every gem, color, and sometimes even clarity. These conditions can change continent to continent, country to country, and sometimes even, like when it comes to Colombian emeralds, mine to mine. When it comes to sapphires, there are two important sources that we talk about a lot. The first one is Sri Lanka, which is traditionally still referred to as Ceylon, and the second one is Myanmar, which is sometimes still referred to as Burma. Both of these regions are very low in iron, and iron can sometimes make gemstones look a little bit darker in tone. So gemstones from both Sri Lanka and Myanmar are traditionally known for having beautiful tone and bright, gorgeous color. Of course, another gemstone that is famous for coming from Myanmar are rubies. Burmese rubies, again, are famous for being low in iron, which really allows the chromium, the element that makes the ruby red, to really shine. It gives them a gorgeous tone and very vivid saturation. They're also famous for sometimes having fluorescence, which means under UV light, which includes sunlight, they sometimes have an amazing otherworldly glow. It's a famous trait that almost no other gem has. Another well-known source for sapphires is Australia. Australian sapphires are mined in basalt rock, which is a little bit higher in iron. This gives Australian sapphires a trademark inky blue color that's a little bit darker in tone. Some important gemstone sources have multiple conditions. This happens in places like Thailand, which is still sometimes called Siam, and in multiple places in Africa like Mozambique and Madagascar. This is why it's so important to remember that source is not everything. At the end of the day, it only matters if you love the gem, if you love its color, and that's the most important thing. When it comes to emeralds, of course, one of the most famous sources in the world is Colombia. Colombian emeralds are very interesting because depending on where they're mined in the country, they can have different tones, colors, and clarity. Sometimes they have a famous alpine green color, which is very bright and a little bit more of a yellowish green, and sometimes they can be more of a bluish green. Another important source for emeralds is Zambia. Zambian emeralds are interesting because they do have more of a bluish green color, which some emerald lovers really prefer. And they're also known for being very high in clarity at times, which gives them excellent durability. Just know that sources are often only listed with colored gems when they can pretty much be guaranteed. That can be almost impossible when it comes to vintage and antique jewelry. The source also isn't a guarantee of its quality or its color. It's really there to give you a helpful guide to the journey that your gemstone has been on, as well as give you an idea of what to expect when it comes to its gorgeous color. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any gem or jewelry questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below, and we will try to answer them in a future video.